Hello everyone, we are Art of War.
And we believe in creating a community where people can talk about, learn, and improve their skills at Warhammer 40K.
Our channel has live stream competitive matches of 40K, played by the best players in the world.
And we focus on teaching you how to get better at Warhammer, while also emphasizing sportsmanship and engagement with our audience.
We strive to play every faction in the game to a top level, while also using a variety of lists to show off different playstyles for every faction.
We also offer a variety of other videos such as codex reviews, faction rankings, tactics videos.
When you join our channel, you become part of our community, where we emphasize learning and positive conversation about competitive 40K.
You get early access to our videos, sub badges, emotes, as well as rewatch those hangout and hobby sessions.
Joining our community is a great way for you to show your support for us, so we can keep making awesome videos for you and continuously expand the bounds of competitive 40K.
You know what time it is, Mr. Siegs?
What time is it,
It's
Nick?
time to hang out and hobby.
Nick's going to be hanging out. I'm going to be hobbying.
I look at these bases. I'm hanging and hobbying. I got stuff to do. We got the Chronos on the way for ACO, and these bases aren't going to paint themselves.
Let's not get crazy though, right?
Well,
They could paint themselves.
look, it took me 3 weeks to do this, so today we're going to do it.
Procrastinate to the last minute, you'll get it done, no problem.
I'm leaving tomorrow. Like this is how it's done.
Tomorrow morning at 7.
7:40 a.m. flight. Haven't started packing yet either.
No, he hasn't.
Chronos aren't even here. Just still hoping they just show up.
You don't need that.
Don't need
They're not Wally stands anyway.
The true one could be the while we stand.
Well, we're going to start off with a awesome note here with a $10 super chat from Mr. Kyle Norman. Hey guys, would you rather fight 10 duck-sized custodies or 1 custody-sized duck? That's a great question.
All right, let's think about this.
Okay.
I want your gut answer first. What's your gut tell you, Steve?
I want to fight against all the little ducks. I don't want to fight against a custody-sized duck. He could be an adamantium armor. He might have a 2-up save.
Wait, so it's 10 little ducks or 10 duck-sized custodians? Is that
10
what-
duck-sized custodies.
Those guys are gonna kill you. They're gonna run you.
They're
right
duck-sized.
Ducks are not like ants. Ducks are large enough that they can attack your feet and stab you with their
Okay,
sentinel
but I have
blades.
an actual sword called Charity. That's a relic power sword.
It's
Gifted by Mike Brandt. Okay, Mike Brandt.
That
has a
sword
ton
is
of
from
power.
the year
It's magic.
2019 or something, and this is the year 40,000. And you think your magical charity is going to save
Yeah.
you against the Dawn Blade
A
attacks?
custody-sized duck. That thing
Look,
would just land on you and crush you.
I'm not saying it's going to be
The
easy
muscles, Nick. Think of
to
the
fight
muscles.
the duck. I'm not. Like they're hollow though, so just like throw something at them. Ducks are hollow.
They're not hollow.
Birds are hollow.
They can fly also. It can fly. Okay, it's the fly keyword.
It does have the fly keyword, but it doesn't have infantry.
It doesn't have infantry, but it doesn't need it.
I'll just hide on them in a magic box.
You can't. Those don't exist anymore.
They-
When you're touched in terrain, then you can be seen, Nick.
These are the questions I live for.
Does the custody-sized duck have a weapon? Does it have the solar power
No,
gauntlet?
ducks don't have weapons. That's why I think this is a much more.
They have a beak.
Okay, yeah, he's got a beak, then that's gonna suck. But like, at least it's not a friggin' sentinel blade.
Yeah, but it's a little baby sentinel.
You see, this is who's hobbying now. You're not hobbying. I am the hobby champion of the stream house.
Well, thank you so much for that super chat.
Appreciate you, Kyle. This is why Kyle wins stream matchups because he super chats that.
For Sisters, we are going to be playing Sisters with Mr. Jack Harpster in the War Room tomorrow night. Usually the War Room games are Thursday afternoon. However, with us traveling to ACO, we're making tomorrow the coaching game. And with that, Jack is going to be busting out a brand new Sisters list, using all the new rules into my brand new AdMech, which you saw last Thursday.
Is this
against
new
the
rules
Deathlock.
versus new rules?
New rules versus new rules. The two latest codexes going head to head. It's going to be really exciting. Jack has been working on all sorts of different Sisters combos to run, and I'm really excited to see what he comes up with.
I'm very excited too. I'm
What-
basically using him to tell me what sisters do.
Yeah, you are. And all those forthcoming losses.
Oh no! Once I read the book, I'll be unstoppable.
Oh,
Just
you
have
got to
get
read the
there.
book.
Have to get there.
That's a tough step. Matt O with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Welcome, Matt. Hope you are doing well. Can we just personally blame Nick for Games Workshop nerfing Miracle Dice Generation in the new codex? That jerk. I'm pretty sure they directly quoted Nick saying that Miracle Dice he doesn't need to use Miracle Dice to win. And so, obviously, in that case,
You
might as
need
well
them.
change him.
Right.
Change him fundamentally.
Appreciate you, Matto. I think it's not my fault. I am the reason that sisters thrived for as long as they did. That's why. That's what I'm gonna say. Official statements.
To be clear, one GT win with Sisters.
Yeah.
But that's the only tournament you took Sisters to.
To be clear, we're talking about a very dodgy stream record versus John Lennon and Siegs, and a lot of losses to the Noise Marines.
Oh,
but we brought home a GT, and that's what counts.
Do you remember that magical game, Necrons vs. Sisters, where I trapped your parking lot with 10 warriors? You couldn't fall back.
This is
While they object your home objective? That was just great.
That was so dumb. That was a stupid game. It's all because Siegs is the Silent King didn't die when he's supposed to. And that's when I learned you have to ignore him.
No, you put everything into him. When it fails, you just lose the
It
game.
was supposed to work. The math says it should happen. But you can't account for the Siegs 4s, which means you just don't go for it. That's the truth of the matter.
So I guess I failed too. Like the Silent King just loses the Menhir. Oh wait, he doesn't because that one's full health. So, all right, Nick, how you feeling?
All right.
I miss the Silent King. What a legend he was.
He lived on like a wound, and then he healed a lot. Or something. I don't remember. How much did he heal?
He can heal 2 if you're using the command protocol. Otherwise, he just heals 1.
He can heal 2. Not D3.
It wasn't really the healing.
Not
It was
2D3? I think it was
no.
2D3.
He can't. He auto explodes though for 1 CP.
No, it was the fact that he lived and his auras were just going
Yeah.
all over.
So after 3 Broken Codex releases in a row, they decide it's Sisters that deserve the nerf hammer. I don't think they were nerfed. Honestly, things are different, just like with Admech. Admech don't have a 6-inch exploding 6s to hit aura, but they got better in a lot of other places. I think the same is true for Sisters. And Jack Harpster is going to be showing that off tomorrow in the War Room. He is super pumped. He thinks Sisters are better, and I would trust his opinion.
He's all about the new character lady that costs a lot of points.
He is not about the new... That's John. John's all about the Supreme Commander.
You know,
Jack doesn't think she's actually she's necessary or worth the points. So there's a little bit of debate going on there between
Right.
John and Jack. Which
love to get them on the Sisters Clinic. Next week, I think we're going to have one of those in the War Room.
will we be getting a Sisters Codex review? We don't actually have the book, so it basically, when people
we
start
would love
typing
to.
up rules,
Yeah, we would love to.
we will be having a breakdown tomorrow where Jack has read as much as he can on the Sisters. So he's going to be talking about all.
Well, you're going to be playing them.
Yep, but he's going to be talking about Sisters throughout. So if you want to ask a lot of Sisters questions, that's going to be the perfect time. But from what I've read, I like a lot of what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I haven't gone through it, unfortunately. It's been a busy weekend with ACO coming up and all 3 of us going, and Brad Chester, and Jack Harpster. The whole stream team is in attendance. It's going to be an epic event. See what you playing.
I'm playing my Tau.
You're playing your Tau.
The Tau that has done wonders.
Your Teu?
They've been impressive.
Impressive.
Impressive. But they also oppress Nick.
They have impressed me. Tau, fight oppression.
That's the Tau Nara specifically, though.
Don't think your drones haven't been the source of nightmares.
They haven't.
Not in
They're
recent
so cute.
history. Cute! This thing is cute as stupid frisbee with a gun!
You love it. So I am working on magnetizing some of my Tau drones and then painting some missile pods on my last couple of crisis suits for ACO. Nick is working on his basing for the Kronos.
The chrono spacing. This is
The dry
you
brush
always
magic.
have to find time to not actually paint the models. Paint the bases.
You got a dry brush.
You got dry brush and wash. Fundamentals of good painting. John's like the king of dry brushing. He dry brushes everything. I don't dry brush everything. I wash everything.
Between the two of you, there's a happy medium.
Siegs like actually paints. It's stupid. He does it very robotically too. He sits there for like 7 hours and just paints until it's done.
That's just how you do it.
Not how you do it. No person does it that way. Like no normal human just sits there for like 8 hours straight and just paints.
I really wanted the Silent King to be done.
I know.
That's only when I'm super excited about the models. I don't do that all the time.
I've been watching you paint the towel.
Well, the Tau's been pretty much painted.
It's
Just a
how
couple.
somehow there's always more drones. You're always working on drones.
There's always more drones. But in this case, I only have 18.
Yeah, you've played me with 45, and somehow 18 is a challenge for you.
Well, I'm magnetizing. That's the difference.
Magnetizing.
Thoughts on a single Exorcist now? It still seems pretty pricey overall. I like the strat that they got, but I don't know if you're going to see them
What's the
that
strat that
often.
they got?
The ability to shoot indirect fire.
That's really
Main-
good.
main
Is it
gun.
is it still like super strong anti-tank?
I think they nerfed the AP,
AP
so
was-
it's a bit weaker
Yeah, if it's
overall.
only AP2, that is actually.
And I believe it doesn't work for all the weapons that you have, just the
yeah,
extra
it's-
missiles. So,
But still, it's not necessarily blowing up a tank out of line of sight, but like some backfield objective
finish
holder,
something off. Like
a
that would be
character
the
out of line of
utility.
sight, that could be very good.
It's still pricey though. It's still an expensive tank overall, and it's not core.
But you know how I am with my exorcists.
Yeah, well, not being able to get all those rerolls, those juicy rerolls anymore, is a big deal.
I mean, yeah, the only reason I was even on them was because like the rerolls in Triumph, you're just like a super exorcist.
What is Nick doing to those poor bases?
What do you mean? What am I
We
doing?
don't want to know. We don't.
I'm creating magic over here. This is going to be the best looking maces that the commissioned Drukhari army we got.
Question for Tau: do stabilization systems and target lock interact? Stabilization systems is pretty much pointless now, due to the update of 9th edition rules, where you don't take the heavy penalty if you're a monster vehicle. Target lock was FAQ'd to change the wording of it. So what that allows you to do now is you can advance and still fire heavy weapons. They FAQ'd target lock, so you can check that out in the Tau FAQ. So it's decent on like a Yuvara, but I typically don't take the target lock anymore. I don't think that's good enough.
Look at these bases. Glorious, glorious bases. And now I should go get another base. I should get a Raider base to see how they compare so I can match them.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
You got this? Do you have the snow?
Do you have snow?
Not for that many bases. I have a little bit left.
It's like 6 bases.
Yeah, they're large bases though. Are we both going to Atlantic City Open? Yes, indeed. It is both Nick, myself, John Lennon, Jack Harpster, and Brad Chester all going. What is this Perry Avenger list? Did warp time changes break him? Honestly, I think they did. I basically gave him the pick of whatever faction he wanted to play against me, and he said it wasn't going to be Chaos. And he didn't clarify anything else, and so I think he's pretty disappointed in that warp time change, at least before Chaos gets extra rules. So he's going with Eldar for now, and I'm excited to see Craftworlds on the table since
Okay, so my base doesn't really compare. Now that I see it side by side.
you have Tufts in there.
I do have Tufts. It's not far off.
It's not far.
It's just much more built up, and
You're gonna need some to continue lightening it up as well.
or I could just leave it and call it
Maybe he's always looking for excuses.
done.
Let's see what we got here. Hey guys, had a question about cover. Do you play the book rules for your terrain? The rules are written so it seems like vehicles can never benefit from any kind of cover. They for light cover,
No,
they can't. However, they can from other rules like Shroud Song, things that don't put exemptions in there. Then for dense cover, anything can benefit except for aircraft and Titanic units.
the way you can think about
Or
dense
auto
cover
linking
is
with
like you're not actually benefiting from dense cover. Your opponent is being negatively impacted by it. So everything will benefit from dense cover. But yeah, light cover,
Except for aircraft, Titanic, and
Right.
things 18 plus wounds.
right? Because they're big.
Yeah.
They're big. They see through the forests.
Yeah, so there's stuff that's particularly exempted from these things. Yes, we do play terrain through the rulebook, as most tournaments do.
See this? I'm using green stuff.
Do we still like Bloody Rose over the other orders? I think Bloody Rose is great. Argent Shroud for shooting.
Jack likes Argent Shroud. And
Yeah, he likes Bloody Rose plus Argent Shroud. I think
Valor's Heart.
no.
Do they change?
Yeah, they did.
What do they do?
They reduce AP 1 and 2 by 1.
Oh, it's like slightly worse.
And then I think they got something else. I forget what the rest of their trade is. But they're still
Borrow
pretty
your
decent.
Clippies. Thank you. All right. We're gonna get experimental with
But
this.
Bloody Rose still seems awesome.
Bloody Rose. We're gonna get experimental with our gluing capabilities here. We're gonna try to
Experimental.
We're gonna try to commit some surgery upon this flight stand, which I broke earlier.
You can't not trust Nick with their flight stands.
Flight stands are very challenging. Like ever since I was like 9 and 10 years old, playing this game as like a small child, never really got flight stands down. But I'm definitely better at it than I was when I was like 9, 10 years old. I promise you that. And improvement is all that matters.
Thoughts on the 5-1 Talist at Bug Eater GT? It's great. I mean, he's pretty much running all the best units that I also agree with. I dropped the on-sheet attachment, the Vurla one, just because I found I didn't really want to spend CP on the Breacher units, and that I didn't really need on-sheet. 6 of Feel No Pain is okay for the Riptide, but honestly, because he's shooting and scooting each turn, you're not really getting a ton of value out of the 6 of Feel No Pain.
On she.
So I ended up dropping that just for a pure Farsight Enclaves detachment, and that way I started 9 command points, which I much prefer. But that list is super strong. Really impressive work by him. Kudos. Like, you're beating anybody with Tau right now, you are severely outplaying them, and it just feels amazing.
When you beat me with Tau, I don't feel severely outplayed.
You did. You were playing Death Guard, new Codex, had his own broken secondaries. Didn't matter. Done. Get him out of here.
Severely outplayed.
Severely outplayed.
Made a mistake.
You made actually a couple mistakes in that game.
Like one.
Several.
Maybe.
Leaving 10 Poxwalkers on an objective.
That was one.
Get a 0.
that was the one.
What models are we painting? So I am going to be painting some missile pods on crisis suits.
I am.
And I'm magnetizing some drones.
I really thought I could fill 2 hours with these bases, but I'm struggling to see how that's going to be possible.
Could always paint the Triumph.
That is a task.
What else you got?
The glue is about to die. I was going to say we could always have a Nick building session. We need to get new glue.
Yeah, I mean there's a decent amount. You just got to keep it to the side.
Keep it to the side?
Yep.
Okay.
So you could build something. Everybody loves watching Nick struggle to build things.
I'll ponder my options.
I believe there are 3 of the Tau clones at ACO and 1 final table, the Bug Eater GT this last weekend. They're all fairly different. Especially in the Crisis loadout. I've gone for 8 guys with missile pods because I prefer the longer range and the safety net that offers. I can interact turn 1 with my vast majority of my firepower. They've gone with like cyclic ions, sometimes fusion, and
Cyclic ion fusion.
And more airburst than I have. I used to go with pure airburst, but I think you want to be able to interact with Drukhari a turn before they're in range to start charging you.
So how many airbursts are you running? Is it all missile pods?
1 guy with airburst because he's the one who ignores AP 1 and 2, and then everything else is missile pods.
You don't think there's a good reason to mix?
Not an ACO because I just touch the terrain and I get the same effect as airburst. So I'd rather have just the better weapons.
Yeah.
That's the main reason. Otherwise, if there is a lot of first floor blocks line of sight type of terrain, 100% I would go with more airburst.
Yeah.
When are we going to get the Secret Sauce anti-Admech Dark Eldar Necron list on stream? Oh, it's gonna tough.
Where's this anti-Admech and Dark Eldar army seeks?
Well, I think Necrons actually have a reasonable with the nerfs to Dark Eldar. I think they actually have
they could fight Dark Eldar before.
They could, yeah. Like you saw, I lost by 3 points and needed 1 of 2 charges to go off, and I would have got the.
Yeah, and that was like against the GT one in less play.
That was with all the broken rolls.
Yeah.
So I think actually Necrons can play against Drukhari, no problem. Also, competitive edge getting nerfed.
Yeah, that
will help.
Because now I can't just.
The 20 warriors don't just instantly die. So I think they can actually do it against Admech. God, I couldn't think of a harder counter than Admech. If they're running the bombers, your Necron warrior bricks are getting evaporated. If you're in the middle of the table where you want to be shooting Gauss Reapers, they're going to shoot 80 shots from a Skitarii unit into you.
You're gonna get this.
All your anti-tank is just gone. If you're running a Silent King, all those blast cannon chickens are going to just pick you up. So it's I think Admech is probably the hard. Still, it was a really hard matchup before. It's even harder now. That unit with Transhuman ignoring AP 1 and 2 was just brutal.
Yeah.
The Necrons don't have the tools to do it.
Mefrit.
Yeah,
Mefrit
you honestly have to go for Mefrin. Maybe not Immortals. But
Mefrit.
you
Destroyers.
could go Immortals.
AP4. AP4.
They're just so bad.
AP4 destroyers. You know how many rangers that would kill?
Not as many as you think.
No, it really isn't.
And then that unit is dead.
No,
Gone.
no, they have reanimation programs.
They're not. They're dead in one go.
Reanimations.
Uh,
Roll them pies, Mr. C.
Nick, do you need me to bring snow tonight? Got a big jug of it. That's Frosty Forge.
Frosty Forge, yeah, snow would be very helpful.
Nick
Thank
would
you.
very much
Thank you.
appreciate
Yeah.
snow.
You know what? That's going to inspire me to glue the tufts on that.
Charging over terrain with a unit of fly keyword, do you measure up and down or can you measure through the terrain? Depends on what the height is. If there's barely any height to it,
If it's less than an inch, you can ignore it, is
Exactly.
the rule. But if it's more than an inch, you have to measure up. and down.
exactly.
Even with fly.
How do you feel about bolter inceptors now? I think they're pretty decent, honestly.
I've always liked them. Everyone got on the Plasma Scepter hype, and I was like, fine. There's Marine meta. I get it. But Bolter Inceptors, they slap. Imperial Fist.
Yeah, they went down 5 points in the latest chapter proof. I think they're solid.
I agree.
You know, I especially like them in stuff like Imperial Fist, but Imperial Fists overall don't have a lot of benefits.
I think Imperial Fist, no one's giving credit for. You get damage 4 Redemptors. It's not bad.
All right, Nick's gonna be. You heard it here first. Nick is gonna be playing Imperial Fist next opportunity he gets.
When did anyone say that?
Right, I heard it right in my ear.
No one said that.
It was whispered right into my ear.
I have to use John's models. Ugh. I hate when that happens.
Can we just trade your Space Marine on me?
I love them.
We could get so much new stuff. I mean, I bet you're gonna do it when Orcs finally come out, or Thousand Suns.
Ugh. I'm gonna have to, aren't I?
Because honestly, like, it's just never gonna see play.
But I love it. Can I keep some of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that can just.
Yeah.
That's just Warfire. That's money in the bank for Warfire.
Man, I hate that that's right. It's so sad.
Yeah.
I love it.
Eventually, I'm gonna trade my Death Watch in. Uh, 5 minutes of dry brushing. Nick is done beating.
Who's saying that?
Somebody who's absolutely
Someone who's
correct.
not right. Remember I talked about the tufts? We're gonna get there. And I was just saying again, a second coat to make it brighter, per Siegs' recommendation.
Are we?
What do you mean, are we? We did. I glued
You're
this
gonna get
stem. Green stuff. I green stuffed on this paint stream. What have you done?
What about blue stuff?
Blue stuff.
Mark doesn't trust the green
No,
stuff.
it's the yellow. The yellow.
Are you allowed to play Army of Renown list in tournaments like ACU?
You are. None of them are typically that powerful yet. So no one has really been doing it. I have seen a couple people experimenting with the Terminus Force.
Yeah, Terminus has been the most popular one because it does genuinely make boxwalkers pretty darn
Yeah.
annoying to deal with. But
Yeah. Not too popular, but you can totally do it. Yeah.
if it didn't have that restriction of losing vehicles, I think you'd actually see it a
I
lot.
actually just hate that it has to be Harbingers. Like, I know Harbingers are good for the Poxwalkers and that's the whole army, but like that can't be the only thing you do.
Well, it's better than the AdMech one where they're like, no Skitarii. Oh, so we can't take any of the best units in the book? No. Go
The
on.
Dark Eldar got one?
No. No, they just got the Cult of Strife. Right.
Yeah.
Follow up on the terrain question. Forests don't inherently give light cover. Yeah, it's craters that give light cover. Forests give you dense cover. So they tried to differentiate them, but they both give -2 to move and charge.
If you think about it, someone in a crater, like, how is the crater giving them more armor? Like, in what capacity?
Because they're figuring that it's like the crater is deep enough that you can get in there and be hidden. Relatively hidden. Most of your armor can't be hit, so
Right, okay.
I think that's their thinking. Whereas the forest, you're -1 to hit because the bullets might not hit you
Also,
because they'll hit into the forest.
I've been driving lately and looking around and seeing trees and stuff, forests even, and there's absolutely no way you're seeing through a forest. In 40K, we're like, oh, there's 3 trees and calling it a forest. That's not. Forests are like dense cover.
Yeah, but just think of it. They're putting crazy sci-fi weapons into the forest.
They don't know the enemy's there. They don't know
Imagine
why
putting a
it's
railgun through the forest.
But you have to know the target is there. That's the whole point.
That's why you have advanced targeting systems.
What if you don't?
Well,
They don't have smart missiles on the railguns.
expect to be Tau, because then you have ATS.
I'm just saying, when I'm driving down the highway and I look to my right and I see a forest, I don't know what's on the other side of the forest. I don't know if there's an enemy over there. I don't know.
That's because you're a Gretchen.
I am
The
not.
Gretchen doesn't have targeting
The
systems.
Gretchen is ballistic skill 3 is as good as
When
your
I get in my
people.
battle suit, I've got all the advanced
Smash
targeting.
the guns.
Oh, look at that new sponsor. We do have a new sponsor, Misty Mountain Gaming. They are going to be creating all sorts of cool Art of War dice for us, and we'll be showing them off on stream as soon as we get them. I think the timeline is towards the end of this month.
They'll be available for purchase.
They will indeed be available for purchase.
We're gonna get really cool metal ones too. You can get Art of Wars Collector Edition stuff, or you can get the.
I love those metal dice. They feel so good in your hands.
Yeah.
Is Chapter Proof worth buying? That is
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
They did not put enough work in there to justify a $40 book. That's my opinion.
Speaking the mind over here.
Speaking the truth. Sigs, when the inevitable nerf comes to Taraxi, what would you fill with those 190 points? Honestly, you could go for little units of Corpuscari to do a similar role. They come down, they ignore ballistic skill and hit modifiers, which is nice. Put out a little bit of volume of fire to clear some screens, and just put something in that zone for maybe retrieve Octarius data or engage in off front points. Could do that. You could just go for more Skitarii Rangers if you wanted. You could end up going for more Ruststalkers or Infiltrators, which I really like. That's probably the direction I will go. But it probably won't be continue to take Taraxi if they just lose the strat. How's it going, Christopher? Good to see you joining us. Welcome, everybody. I'm a first timer for LBO, and I'm wondering how you guys usually get your armies to events. Wonderful question. First of all, welcome, Dakota. Welcome to the 40K community and the Art of War community.
Welcome to you.
For transporting armies, what I have done is I use the Games Workshop, I believe it's the Crusade case, which is their larger one. It has 4 sections of foam tray, and I've customized the foam trays so that I could fit different units in there. So I've made spaces where I can put my crisis suits, and then typically with larger models is I wrap bubble wrap or foam around them and then put them on the top part of it, because usually the case actually has a large indent in the top of it, so you can actually fit things that on the very top of the foam trays. So that's typically what I do. It's plenty of room on top for your chest clocks and that type of stuff. Dice bag as well, your dice inside. So I've been using the GW case with customized foam. Nick, you end up using
I use a lot of Battle Foam. The pack 432 is like perfect for doing a carry-on. I don't really. I make sure my army always fits in a carry-on, or between a carry-on and personal item. It's fitting in those two things. I never check an army. I've watched horror stories at events. Like those things get lost. Those things get broken.
Yeah, I mean they're just rumbling around in the cargo hold. That's not where you want your 40K models.
No.
So, and then the Crusade case also fits in the overhead, so I haven't had any problems getting it in the overhead of planes.
Our sponsor, Table War, they also make really great magnetic cases. I personally don't magnetize my models to their bases, or magnetize my bases, so I haven't gotten around to it, rather. So they don't matter in too much sense, but if you want, they can be really good for standing your models upright, and they won't go anywhere because they're like strong magnets and stuff. So if you have like nice models, large models, things that don't fit in foam too easily, that's really good for that.
Display quality stuff, that's really what you want.
Yeah.
Like a spindly army like Drukhari would be perfect for those.
Yeah, definitely. I should actually look at doing that, because every time I travel with this army, stuff breaks. It's spindly. You know what, Mr. Siegs? Revolutionizing us.
New to the effect, anybody know how auto-wounding 6s and exploding 6s interact? Whenever you have an exploding attack, I believe this is in the rare rules section, it doesn't benefit from any other rules. It just counts as it doesn't count as specifically a 6, so it doesn't benefit from other rules. So you'll auto-wound with the first set of dice. Any exploding ones, those ones don't auto-wound. They're just 6s. Do you think Abhor the Witch should be removed?
No, I don't think it's offending anybody. Do you?
I mean, it's basically specifically targeted at Thousand Sons and Grey Knights. You're almost never taking it outside of that.
Yeah. It could probably be tweaked to be a better secondary, but I don't think it's like broken or anything. Maybe.
No. It is
I
punishing.
don't play those armies, so maybe I'm not giving it enough.
It is genuinely punishing because your opponent's just going to pick it. Now, I do like that it has the restriction that if they have a Psyker, they can't take it.
Mhm.
That at least makes it reasonably palatable. But
Palatable.
palatable. How about that?
You can put it on a palette, like a paint palette, like this paint palette. No, but I agree.
But I wouldn't mind them relooking at it again. They did lower the point. Initially, the points were just silly. You'd always max it.
You could max it against armies that like barely try to take Psychers.
Exactly.
But killing Psychers is never easy. It shouldn't be. Sometimes it is. Like when you're shooting multi-melted Retributors at Magnus. That's just sad.
How do you feel about eliminators now, Nick?
I feel like the bodyguard rule is still plentiful and not going anywhere. And as long as the bodyguard rule exists, eliminators don't work as snipers, which is pretty much why you want to take them. They don't suck though for being a mobile unit. They're actually really mobile with the shoot and fade or whatever it's called from the Oculus Bolt Carbine that the sergeant gives you. At that point, they're not really doing any damage. So you're paying about 100 points for a squad to move around really well. It can move, it can shoot, it can move again. It can do actions, it can teleport with guerrilla tactics. Like that's all great stuff. So I don't hate 1 or 2 squads for utility. They can infiltrate too. But you know, each squad you take is 100 points of literally no offense and not much defense, just utility. So you don't want to go too carried away with that.
How about in Raven Guard?
I mean, I don't think they do anything in Raven Guard. Like, I mean, they used to. They used to be disgusting in Raven Guard. You're +1 hit, +1 wound with characters. But now it's like you're only able to be in Tactical Doctrine for 2 turns, and the bodyguards still rule half the games. I mean, if you're playing against Morty and Magnus and stuff like that in mass, it's awesome. Knights, they're great. Like Raven Guard in general, just your whole army. But I don't think it's worth going out of your way for snipers these days. So now we're looking in really good shape. I think the grass added a lot. You think so, Siegs, or no? You have an opinion about my grass?
No, I think it's looking much more
Vibrant?
vibrant, closer to what Golden Globe Gaming had done for the other bases.
Yeah. I can do this. What do we pay them for? This is totally the same thing.
Speaking of metal dice, have you ever used tungsten dice?
Tungsten?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Is it versus farm or tungsten farm?
It's it might be.
Yeah.
Definitely the word tongue is involved.
Chris will correct us. With Death Guard not getting slowed down by terrain, will the zombie horde take a GT or more?
Well, the zombies themselves don't have an expo, right?
But yeah, they don't have an extra advance, so it doesn't actually make a difference for the Poxwalkers, unfortunately.
Which is really where you want.
I mean, you want it everywhere, but
yeah.
the Poxwalkers having it would have been really nice.
It's because usually if you're running the 20-minute break, it's hard to stay away from terrain when you want to get every model up as close as possible.
Yeah.
You don't want to funnel those units.
Not every tournament does like tons of terrain like that, but like if you play, I've played in tournaments with Death Guard where there's lots of forests in the middle and craters in the middle. Oh my god, it's horrible.
My army was not made to compete here.
But now it's not so bad. Just not great. I'm really getting into these
all
tough.
dried out. This is all dried out. John, come on.
John's like that.
John is like that. I need Bad in Black if you can find it.
I'm on a mission. I'm putting Nick on his eyeballs.
Get his eyeballs ready.
How long do you think it's going to take, Siegs? Or how long till I give up? Do I give up? What do you think?
I hope not, because I would really like that.
I'll
But
give
I could get up if you want
No.
to look at chat.
No. I'm on a mission now.
All right, Bad in Black. If it's not in there, it's going to be in my tray, in the green tray.
First one. 100%.
How about that? How about that? That's magic. No more high eye pressure.
No high eye pressure. You started running every day. We got healthy. No more high eye pressure. Would you look at that? These tufts are really. I'm getting into them. I am.
Those are Army Painter tufts?
These are. Painter tufts.
Army Painter has quality. We've got a $5 super chat from Matt. Oh, I realize it is very early, but what do you guys think about taking our Martyred Lady for more Miracle Dice and the Sniper Canoness? I know Nick souped them for a bit. Well, I would say that out of the chats that I've had with Jack and John, only John has really talked about that. He wants that the Super Canoness who basically suicides herself to get you early extra Miracle Dice. He likes that idea. I don't know if it's going to make the final cut of his list. But
How do Miracle White Dice work these days?
that is going to be what Jack explains tomorrow in the War Room game.
So that's
But
not.
I'm not going to go through all of them because there's a whole bunch of criteria.
John would go through all.
Yeah, John would.
John would literally sit here for 15 minutes and monologue about Sisters Rules.
So this is not a sisters clinic. That is what we do in the War Room.
Practices.
Yeah.
So we used all the Tufts, which means there's no more Tufts. That's a little disappointing because I'm not.
Used all the Tufts? I thought there were.
I used all the snow ones. We still have like 2 different kinds. We have like brown ones and the green ones still.
Okay.
But I used all the snowy ones.
Well, it still looks like you got a good enough on there. Good enough amount.
Yeah, I think so. So now there's actually nothing to be done on the base until Chris Frost gets here, which will be in like 3 hours. So what should I work on? Do you want me to switch with you? And you can work on the
Yeah,
models
that'd be
while-
great.
All right, let's do that.
All right.
Look at that. Let me get my glasses so I can see the
Nick doesn't have to read. But yeah, Matt, I think John is doing exactly what you're saying here with the Armored Lady. The problem becomes is he also wants Ardent Shroud for his Retributor detachment, and then he also wants a Sisters Bloody Rose battalion for the core of the army. At that point, you're also spending a lot of CP pregame because Sisters, like AdMech, got a lot of really good Warlord traits and relics that you want to throw onto characters. So it's going to come down to is how many CP do you expect to spend on stratagems throughout the game? How many do you want in the bank just in case you need to use an auto pass or something like that? Now, Sisters don't really need to use auto pass because of ones that they bank up with Miracle Dice, but if you're generating less Miracle Dice overall, it's still something you might want to consider, like a Desperate Breakout or Emergency Disembark with your Rhinos.
emergency breakout.
All right, so I'm going to just shift these out of the way.
Look at this. I have such control. I have a monitor.
Don't click too much.
Um,
Nick is going to cancel the stream. If the stream ends, we know Nick.
I'm in
Get
charge of
this
the
thing
computer now. This is very
Disgusting.
powerful. I'm in charge. Alright. Where would you leave off? Charlie Adams. I like that name. What's up, Seeks? Been watching the channel lately from the UK. Sick content. Just wondering where you disappointed me with the lack of love for town FAQ and chapter approved.
They did not get love, but at the same time, I am still winning with them. Ben Neal is winning with them. There's other Tau players who are trying to take the archetype of Farsight plus Viral or just pure Farsight Enclaves with the Crisis unit and the Riptide and doing really well with it. So I think the confirmation that Monka allows fallback and shoot, that's a huge buff for Tau. And so even though they didn't get points decreases, every tournament now has to rule that way. And so fallback and shoot is really what Tau needs to compete. And now they have it
Tau don't need
with
nothing.
Monka.
Tau don't need to compete.
So I think that's the bigger change overall. It would have been really nice to get some points drops on most of the units, especially vehicles. But I guess Games Workshop wasn't feeling it.
No.
Somebody in the design team, maybe the best player in the design team is a Tau player, and they just win.
That's what I'm saying.
They just win.
Yeah, that's
like
how
me.
done. Yeah, it's Kyle Norman, one of our war members. Thank you, Kyle. How do you feel about Demon Carrion price increase? How do you feel about the hair duel? With the Demon Carrion price increase, how do you feel about it? I always thought the hair duel kind of sucked. It's not bad. Like it big and flies and shoots and.
That's the Harridan. The Herodule is that bug
The
up there.
huge one.
No, the Harridan is the huge one. That's the fly
Oh,
one,
the
and it
Her-
does a bunch of damage with its guns. That's the Herodule.
How do you keep these things?
The Herodule is the toughness 8 one.
I think it's okay. That thing shoots pretty hard. The foot one. The foot one shoots pretty hard, and
Yeah.
it's fine. But I don't think it works like in today's day and age. Like you're just gonna get outshot by AdMech. It's not even gonna be close. So I don't see the point to trying to win that war. The Eliminators down to 75 points now, which makes them feel better. I do like Eliminators at 75. That actually makes me feel like taking like 9 of them. Huh. Fate Stay Dreamer. Interesting observation and very close name to Fate Weaver. How does that make you feel, Siegs?
Oh, let's hear their question.
Well, they're just pointing out the eliminators are down to 75 instead of 9, whatever, and they're 95 for the last few build, which is interesting. And I think it's interesting that his name is Fate's Daydreamer. It's pretty.
It's definitely not Fate Weaver, though.
It's not far from Fate Weaver, and you have to keep perspective about that because it's all about how close you are to Fate Weaver.
Fate Weaver is in Farsight's pocket. That's just where he lives.
Fate Weaver killed down.
Farsight took him into the Dawnblade.
Farsight doesn't matter. Nick, will I be on the karaoke stage at AC? I don't know where I'm going to be at AC. I'm going to be at AC on Wednesday, and I'm going to have 5 days there, and I'm going to have a grand old time. A grand old time, Mr. Siegs.
Karaoke?
Karaoke. What is a good army to deep dive / one trick? You can deep dive a lot of armies. I don't recommend picking Necrons or armies without ally options for a deep dive because you're gonna eventually run out of stuff that you want to explore. What do you think, Siegs?
Yeah, I think Imperium is the obvious choice. Imperium factions, you just have the wealth of pretty much every option possible.
Chaos is the hipster choice. I like Chaos.
Chaos have a lot of options, but at the same time, those options aren't amazing.
They did just lose warp time. Well, they didn't lose it. They just lost the ability to transfer it off of.
There's what almost every list, like almost every list took warp time, but it was
Maybe it's
for it to benefit a totally different unit.
Maybe it's a forced innovation. Maybe you can just stop being a baby about it. And,
Yeah.
You know? Are 75-point limiters worth a heavy support slot? Just 75 points, I don't know. That's cheap. That's cheap for just limiter. I think if you're a faction that wants to use eliminators to be fire invading las fusils, I don't hate that. I don't think it's great, but I don't hate it. If you do that, I want to get them some rerolls in some capacity, like Master Artisan, Successor Chapter thing, or Character Barrage to hang out with them. But I like small squads of eliminators, like just 1 or 2, to be a unit that infiltrates and can guerrilla tactics and stuff. At 75, I don't hate that. But I wouldn't take it in every army. If your army's like White Scars and you're super mobile, you need to pay points to be more mobile. Like your army's just naturally mobile. But like something like Fifths, for sure. Oh, shell, Mr. Siegs. Oh, shell. Do. So what are you working on here?
These are crisis suits with missile pods.
No, like what? Well, you're painting the missile pod. Because to me, these crisis suits have been painted for like 9 months. And you're still
I'm painting the missile pods.
Yeah.
So I didn't have 8 models with 2 missile pods each. I had a bunch of cyclic ion on.
So did you buy 8 new crisis suits?
No, I just magnetized the weapon.
I'm very proud of you.
I have every weapon imaginable in the garage out there.
I see. There's a garage full of Talbots. It's horrible.
I have every. If plasma rifles become good, I have enough to load up every crisis suit.
Excellent. That's what you need. Games Workshop, you're here to hear it first. There's no making Siegs buy any crisis. He's done. He's going to take his 10 commanders and his 30 crisis and say enough's enough. Right, Mr. Siegs?
Maybe one more commander.
One more commander. Never heard. Frosty Forge loves the dabble last use eliminators. That's how you know. Frosty Forge is the champion. He's the champion who's painting our Chronos, who's going to get here today with the Chronos party so I can go in a GT that is outdated.
Nick's going to try and win one more time with Broken Dark Eldar, and if he can't do it, he's not playing John's GT winning list, though.
I'm not
playing his own concoction.
My own concoction. I don't copy people's lists, and the fact that John copied mine and won with it is just embarrassing. But we're going to try again. We got Chronos on the brain. And that's what matters. The best player must be a GSC player. He plays Muscle Beach. His second list has 3 lanterns. What is going on? Reaching. I do love the Muscle Beach.
He's building off of my joke that somebody on the design team must be really good with Tau, and that's why they're not getting buffs. And he's like, well, the GSC player must also be amazing, especially running Aberrants. Like we can't buff those guys.
No.
Those guys had a reign of terror. That would have been so awesome, though, is we send John Lennon over there with all the aberrant tricks and just right to the design team, and they're like, okay, Soon's broken. We played an Apocalypse game last year where John took 10 aberrants.
They killed my entire chaos.
And he killed all of the chaos stuff imaginable, like twice over.
All 2,000.
There were like 4 aberrants left at the end of the game, but they picked up like 3,000 points of chaos.
Like Morty, Magnus, all this stuff. John was using basic screening, and like I was not having it. I was just charging Morty and Magnus into like guardsmen and obliterated those. And then he was like, Aberrant time. Oh, Nick, you're so bad at this. I'm like, John, you are no fun.
Even better in that game, John tried to pull the heroics with the
heroics. Oh
the Brute
my
Brothers.
God. Like, I'm playing Apocalypse. I'm just like, whatever is closest, I'm charging. I'm shooting the big stuff and I'm charging the close stuff.
Oh,
This is
John.
the extent of the tactics. And John's heroic interventioning, blocking my collar consolidates. I'm like, damn it, John.
You gotta win Apocalypse.
You gotta win Apocalypse. What if you need to do the chess thing where you play multiple games at the same time? So he's like, you need more crisis. It's I want to do that. I want to play like 3 games.
You
at
can't.
once. I think I'd be.
How are
good.
you gonna be focused on?
I'm not focused on one game. I think
I know,
3 would be
exactly.
perfect because then I get bored of one. There's something to distract me. There's something to go after that. I think I'd be the best triple.
All right, we should set up a second stream table, and then you can play John and I, one on each.
We should do this. We should run a tournament where like all 3 of us are playing simultaneously. You, me, and John, and then Jack will have to play all 3 of us at the same time. And then,
Jack is the guy.
and then
I like how Jack just got shoved in the position.
No.
you play all 3 games.
no, we should try. We should all each play 3 games simultaneously and see who does the best. I think I would. You would like win one and lose 2 horribly. You would just play one of them.
No, I wouldn't.
You would just pick the easy one, play that one. Like I won. These other 2 are stupid. Let's see. Poor cat lady. I know, poor cat lady. Why? I think there was a question I missed. This is a hard job. You gotta read a lot. How do you play your Drukari list matches versus my Jump Pack Spam Sisters list? I should look at your list, Matt. What did you play? What are you taking? I haven't looked at any of these ACO lists.
Nick hasn't done his homework.
I know. Well, I do my homework on the plane. So what else am I gonna
Take a nap.
do? No, I watch movies, but I tell myself I'm gonna do the homework on the plane, and the homework just doesn't get done. You gotta appreciate the honesty.
It is honest.
Matt, Laura, what do we got here? We got a lot of sisters, Bloody Rose stuff, a lot of Repentia, some Zephyrim, a lot of Flamer people, a lot of Infernos, Pissed Heat people, a lot of Melta people, and some others. This is a sisters army. I don't know. I'm gonna play you the same way I play everybody, Matt, which is just play in the moment. You see where the dice land. You see how many 5s you roll. How many 5s am I gonna roll, Seeks?
Yeah, you kind of used up all your 5s.
I have not used up my 5s.
Might be in for a tough time in these
No.
games.
I mean, this always happens to me. I roll well in practice, and I'm terrible in everything. It's actually usually the opposite of that, but lately I've been doing well in practice. Look at this. My glasses were on my head in the video. They're not now, and then I just put them on. Why'd you look at that? This is. I feel so powerful. I'm never in the control center streams anymore. Once we got enough.
We try to avoid it.
Once I got enough bandwidth that I didn't have to, that stopped happening.
Nick used to know how to run the streams.
I did. It used to be a lot simpler too. Now it's way more buttons. How do I feel about Be'lakor being 360 based on the rules we've seen so far? Hoping he's getting his release soon. I don't know. He's 360. That's. I actually supposed to be more than that.
Points are in chapter approved.
Oh, I have to remember his rules. So he doesn't anymore. He ignores invulns and stuff. He's like he slaps. But I
I don't know if he keeps that rule though.
Oh, you think his rules are gonna change? No, I mean like the rules they previewed.
Did they preview that he ignores that? I thought he was like -1 to wound, -1 to hit.
This is my memory from like way.
He can turn off reroll, something like that. I honestly haven't looked at his data sheet in a
Yeah.
while. I'm waiting for
I
the whole
think
thing.
I'm excited for Be'lakor though. That could be the jumpstart Chaos needs to actually do something. If he's like a big, but you know what I worry about Be'lakor because like he's just another big monster, and if Admech is like casually killing Mortarians, how is Be'lakor going? Maybe he's not 18 wounds. Maybe he's 16. That'd be great.
If you're the Admeg, Nick, I'm gonna drop a bunch of mortals on you.
What are the benefits of taking Missile Crisis over Missile Peroxide Seeks?
Crisis suits are a lot more mobile. They have a 2 CP strat to count the target as having 5 marker lights. You can pregame buff them to ballistic skill 3+ and weapon skill 4+. They're a combat unit. When you charge in with them, 1 CP you can do mortals on 3-ups. They can 1 CP get a full rerolls to hit and wound in combat as well. They 1 CP on the unit, get a full rerolls to wound. All of that is really much more effective when you put it on a single crisis unit rather than 3 broadsides. But the mobility deal is huge. And then fly keyword, you can just trap broadsides. And once the broadsides are trapped, you need to use Desperate Breakout on them. And a good opponent can probably place their models such that you can't actually fall back with the broadsides. They can't end more than an inch away, so you just lose them all.
Argent Shroud having the ability to move or advance and counters remaining stationary for shooting. Do you think we've heard Bloody Rose really good? I think Jack is on that, Fate Weaver, but he's gonna try out his ideas in the Worm tomorrow and talk about them. So we'll see how good that actually goes. I haven't personally read New Sisters, so I can't make my own opinions yet. Unfortunately, it's been a busy week getting ready for ACO.
Yeah, look at this.
Look at this. This is more modeling than I've done in the past 6 months.
Man, that's unfortunate.
No, I built and painted the Plaguebear's Crawler. Don't
Built in quotes.
It's built. You put that on the table, no one will call it not a Plaguebear's Crawler. Built well.
Shoddy craftsmanship.
Shoddy craftsmanship. What is there for competitive chaos? Hopefully Bellicor. I don't know. Chaos just got hit in the not fun parts of chaos, but Matt Morrisoli and Brad Chester in the War Room going to be on Wednesday doing a Chaos Clinic about exactly this concept, about how our Chaos going to move forward, what's going to happen in Chaos. Death Guard, if you do mono Death Guard, they didn't change at all. They don't care. So there are some things. They actually got buffed, in a way. Why is no one playing Sisters with Death Cults? I see people playing Death Cults all the time. I don't. Maybe the people your list you're checking don't run Death Cults, but like, I mean, I like to spring for Crusaders over Death Cults because like 6 more points for a better save. But it's the same thing, you know.
Just cheap action monkeys.
Cheap action monkeys. I need to do something. Too much.
What do you want me to grab for you?
Something to build.
I'm gonna find something.
I'm hoping. Siege is gonna. They're gonna bring us something fun, some experimental stuff for me to play with, some things to build, some people to see. Is anyone else working on anything? Are you people working on things with your models and your hobbies? Do you hobby while we hobby? Do you hang out and hobby? That would be the point, isn't it? That's the point. Sisters are 11 points per model. Why would you pay 13 for a bad sister? They're okay for actions, I guess. That's you pay for the cheaper squad. You pay for the vet that it's to use this unit, to sacrifice this unit, to create a screen, to go hold an objective, to contest an objective, to do an action. It costs you 26 points, not 55. Doesn't matter. It's like, if the minimum squad was 5, you wouldn't take them ever because they're bad sisters, but they're not because their squad size is 2 minimum. Can't mono Death Guard summon demons now since summoning no longer breaks Death Guard containers, only checked at the start of battle. I didn't realize that was a rule. I didn't catch that in the FAQ. That's really great. I actually think summoning demons in Death Guard fixes a lot of small problems they have. One of the big problems I have with my Death Guard are like they don't have good units to just beat chaff. Like, their chaff is move 4 Poxwalkers that you don't really want to use as chaff because they're actually your opposite that you need to play objectives with. So like being able to summon Furies, no. I'm not building a rocket truck squib.
We don't have one.
Oh.
One of the things we don't have. We know how much your love works. Come on.
You're making me build a rocket truck squib.
How cool is that, buddy?
Oh my.
Come on. Chad is here for it.
Who wants to see me build a rocket truck squib? If 3 people say yes, I'll do it. There's like, how many people are watching us? How many people are watching this? It doesn't even say. 93 people are watching.
It totally says.
93 people are watching this. That is like a percent or something, like 3%. If 3% of you, give or take, want me to build this rocket truck squib buggy, I will. If not, I'm free. That means no one wants to see it. That means literally no one cares. Oh, that's 1. There's 2. There's 3. Sure doesn't count. Sure does not count. I'm not counting a sure. I want a positivity. Yes. Oh. Damn, you guys are really spamming the yeses.
There we go. How many yeses? Because we could get Nick to build all 3 on this fame stream.
Crazy! This is going to take me 3 hours.
Oh, legendary.
Look at this thing. I've never built a kit like this. I have no clue how to do this. This isn't like my 400th Rhino or my 9,000 Tactical Marine. This is Rocket Truck Squig Bunny numero uno.
That's what people want.
This is literally the whole chat is just yeses. There's people saying yes. Who wants to see me build it without direction? Who wants to see that? I think that's what we need to see. Oh, man. This is... Why? Why do we even have this? Well, this is why it's not been built for so long. Because it's been forgotten to time. That's how bad these things are. Maybe they'll be good in the newer codex. What does the Rocket Truck Squig Buggy do? Do they still put the data sheets in here? What does this do, see? Oh, they do put the Rocket Truck Squig Buggy sheets.
I couldn't tell you what it does, honestly.
Let's find out together.
I've never seen one on the table. Yes. I think they're
Okay.
bad.
So it's pretty orc buggy stacked. 9 wounds, 10-inch move, 4 armor,
Colors.
4 attacks. It's got a heavy squig launcher and saw blades. Each model's crew is armed with a squig launcher, a shotgun, and stick squigs. So the heavy squig launcher has 3 different profiles. One of them always wounds vehicles on a 4-up. Oh no, always wounds on a 4-up unless it's targeting a vehicle or titanium. So it's just poison, 2d6 poison shots. The other one is 2 shots, strength 5, AP 3, 2 damage. So like kind of a good AP heavy bolter, 2 shots. The boom squig, it's the last one.
The boom's big.
Salt 2d3, strength 6, minus 1d3. This thing sucks. Alright, what else we got? That's the heavy squig launcher. What's a regular squig launcher? It's just half of all those profiles.
Well, it has a shotgun. Look at that.
It's the same thing. It's half of all. So it's got a regular shotgun.
But it gets +1 strength.
Well, what's its special? It's got squig mines. This is why it's good. It's got squig mines. So once per battle in the
Just
movement
+1 to hit.
phase. See, I'm talking about the squig mines. You pick a point in the movement phase that this model moved over. Enemy models within 3 inches of it. Take some mortals if you roll. And you don't fly and you move 10. This thing is awful. Why am I building this thing? Why?
Because we don't have one.
We're never going to use this.
We're gonna look how cool it is, though. Come on, that's iconic.
Steve and John have been trying to get me to play orcs for like 2 months. And I'm
The
like,
chat is trying to get you to play.
I'm like,
Orcs.
I don't care about orcs. And they're like, someone has to play orcs and they play orcs. It's not going to be me or John because like it's not going to be. And somehow that's valid. So here I am building a Rocket Truck Swig Buggy because the chat said yes 86 times. Thanks, chat. Love you. Love you all. Do. I want to see build it with blindfold, no directions. Blindfold, no directions coming up. Oh, it's only 1 sprue.
Hey, how about that? Look at that.
That's actually pretty.
I could have picked a difficult kit.
I mean, you did. Look, I mean, things are on the sprue, but at least it's only 1. That's not so bad. Do this. But you know what?
Chat wants it.
We're working on doing more. We're working on accomplishing more things during our time. So we're gonna build this Rocket Truck Squid Buggy. # goals. I can't really see. It's got me to do this.
You did ask. You did ask in the chat.
I thought you were gonna get me something exciting,
Like what?
not a Rocket Truck Squid Buggy.
I wanted to pick something that wasn't built and that you like to play.
We have a whole closet of unbuilt things. We have like a small store. We could start a small store with our inventory in our closet. We could start a large store and just not have much product in it. The size of the store doesn't dictate by how much product we have. The glue, I like. You got the glue.
Keep it on its side.
Yeah.
I'm working on a Skitari Marshall now.
Skitari Rangers.
Marshall.
Skitari Rangers.
Rangers are awesome. Admech Codex is so good.
I don't know about all that.
It's so good.
Could a Storm Soldier be playable now that it costs 1 command point?
That wasn't its problem.
That wasn't his problem.
Its problem is its data sheet is still garbage. It has no defense, and the game is just full of firepower right now. You got a bunch of Volkite Contemptor Dreads, Redemptors everywhere.
Dark Lances.
You got the chickens from AdMech. You have Dark Lances. It's just gone. And at best, it has a 4-up Invuln. And that's just not good enough. So, unfortunately, it is nice that it costs less CP. I think that's overall just a really nice change.
You know
Glad
what the
that they
cool
made that.
thing is about the Raider? That it costs less than a Razorback.
A lot less.
Yeah.
Because you have to pay for the gun on the Razorback, and they're all really pricey.
How is that okay? Like, how is...
It's because Razorbacks.
The Razorbacks are awful, but like, how did they let the Razorbacks are Marine units? They should want those to be good.
They were good for a while, and then they were
Used to spam.
spammed. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were done with the Razorback
Good
spam.
old-fashioned Razor spans.
It's the same reason that Scouts don't exist. They're just
Don't exist anymore.
we're just done with this.
John liked to tell me that he still would put Scouts in his list. And I'm like, they had never once made one of your lists. He likes the idea of Scouts. In your guys' opinion, what is a good army to deep slide / one shot? Didn't we answer this already? I feel like we did. But in my opinion, I say anything that just has ally options. Don't pick sisters. Don't or I said not sisters. Don't pick Necrons. Don't pick Tau. There's nothing wrong with those armies, but if you're looking for like an objectively, this is a better choice. You want more options. No, that's not. If you had to estimate, what do you think you have spent on models in your lifetime? Oh, Adam, that's not. Your wife asked you that today? Oh.
Deflect, Adam. Deflect.
Deflect. Deflect.
I'm
gonna-
Don't give an answer.
Are we talking about like cash spent on models? Because I do a lot of things to get models for not cash these days. So I'm in a different spot to most people. But prior to going professional,
Well, they could be in the same spot. Just go to Warfire Minis.
I mean, that's
Use
true.
their trading program.
That's true. Prior to going professional Warhammer, I don't know. I don't know. It definitely in the 5 digits.
It's something you don't want to know.
It's definitely in the 5 digits. I refuse to believe it's in the 6 digits.
Can we phone your dad right now and ask
No.
what his opinion would be?
No, we cannot.
Well, what do you think? What do you think he would say?
Do you want to?
Would he say this is just a complete waste?
This is a complete waste. I don't know. See, you always told me it was a complete waste, but now has it come full circle? He's on board. Oh my god. Wow. That's a total cash. Total cash. Total cash seeks. It can't be 6 figures. Can it be 6 figures?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so it's 5 figures. I like
You don't have that. Your collection isn't that massive.
no, I have. You've seen the parts of my collection that are salvageable. I've played this game for a lot of years and mistreated models for decades.
I don't want to see the unsalvageable.
No, you really don't. Like everything I did before college, that's just in a dumpster somewhere. I feel like. So you have some remnants of it, like 3 or 4 Grey Knights survived that I gave you. The Annihilation.
Those weren't bad.
I used to have cares, and then I went to college. Really, the university life ruined to be. Adam is trying to get a real estimate here. All right, I would say an army costs with all of the stupid stuff you buy that you don't need to buy but you end up buying. I would say an army costs $1,500 on average, and then $1,500 on average. I would say in my life I've collected through cash probably the equivalent of 15 armies, 12, 15, 13, 14 armies, something like that. And then there's all the other dumb stuff that I bought that we don't need to talk about. So then just add on a few $1,000. And that would be your really, really rough guesstimate. This is horrifying. Why did you make me do that? This was all. Oh no. What do you think, Six?
I don't know.
Adam made me count. You have to figure out some way to
I don't take orders from Adam. It's the reverse. How about that, Adam?
Oh. See, I just do things.
You can convince Nick to do anything. You just have to be persuasive enough.
That's true.
Look at this quick.
No,
This thing is so funny.
why am I playing this? The internet's gonna be like, you had secret information about the squig buggies being broken.
And then they're just still terrible.
It's so terrible. Like, how do you make this thing good? Make the what is it called?
The rocket truck squig.
No, what is the weapon called?
Squig launcher.
The heavy squig launcher. You gotta make the heavy squig launcher good. Oh, oh, we got Latino hot in here. That's almost 40,000 euros. See? This is what I landed. That's a totally reasonable estimate. That's absurd. Could have bought a house. What is this? But you know, I have actually recouped then, if that is the case. So that's good. That's good. Somehow I made this profitable. Number three. I've also been doing this professionally for like years.
Manipulus. I got a little paint on his arms. Some flesh tone. Got the Marshall.
Next thing, the Storm Surge kit. I have not. What's going on with the Storm Surge kit? Complicated creature.
It's got a lot of pieces. Is that Mark?
No, that was Jared. Jared Vale.
No, is that Mark outside of this?
Oh, did it sound like a broken truck pulling up?
Yeah.
Don't forget the kids. Oh, I know, Latino, huh? I know I wasted more money than that. That's like a very conservative estimate. That's like inaccurately conservative, but we're gonna stop. It's gotta be Mark. You can hear the thunder from his footsteps. The great unclean one has arrived to beat Siegs with the Yanari right before LVO.
Yeah, it's
Craft Worlds. I keep doing that. Like all day long, I thought Mark is playing Yanari, but he's just not.
He's like, so does he have the end card? I'm like, it's Craft Worlds.
You can have the Incarn in your Craft Worlds. Don't even.
You could.
Sean's done it. Mark's probably done it. I've done it. See, it's not even stupid.
He is.
The great creature. All right. In your guys' opinion, what's a good army? We have totally answered this 3 times, Patrick. Is any army that has good ally options? We have Mark in the house. What's going on, Mark?
What's up, people?
It's
right
there.
Ooh, the bases look pretty.
Thank you. This is the one that Amir did, and this is all the ones that I did. I just need to add snow from
That looks really good. Really good. You're growing so much. I'm so
I
proud.
know. And now we're doing a rocket truck squig bug.
Oh, I hate those things.
How do you know about those things?
Have you played against these?
Yes.
What do they do?
It's just jank. Like, it's jank, but I can't even quote.
What's
I'm
their-
going to give you a heads up.
What's their strat?
Oh, they have strats.
Yeah, they have a really
too.
stupid strat, and I can't remember which one it was. Is that the Mortal... No, that's not the Mortal Wound one. That's the Burn... That's the one with the Flamethrower. I can't remember what their strat is. Like, they're just dumb.
They're just dumb.
I have Seth Oster to thank for that.
Hey, Nick, what would you wish list to be in your GSC Codex? I just want them to make my Aberrants good again. I own 50 Aberrants.
And Sadness.
Wait.
50's above the limit anyway. 30's the limit.
I know.
How did you get 30?
Warner,
Which is very
Warner
50.
gave me 20 of his, and I had 30.
Oh, okay.
Now I have 50, and I can't even run 50, and 50 would cost over 2,000 points, I'm pretty sure, and that's really sad. Oh, man. These are complicated kits for being one sprue.
Yes. It's amazing how much they fit on one sprue nowadays compared to the past.
Well, that's because they have no care for rhyme or reason. And back in the day, all the arms used to be with the arms. All the heads were hanging out with the heads. Now,
It's
G32. Just go find G32.
Bingo! Well, guys, I just got out the gym. See y'all chat later. I am going to go take a shower.
Bye.
We'll see you later, Mark.
See you, bros.
The sad part is he's going to use my bathroom. I know it. I know it. We all know it. How does that make you feel, Seeks?
I mean, it makes me
Do you take pleasure in that?
No, not really. I don't wish that on anybody.
Seek switches on me.
What I do wish on you is more games against the new AdMech. That's what I hope.
Oh, Patrick, you're all right. But there's a couple more, slightly more in-depth answers to that question if we scroll back up in the past a bit. How do you scroll up in the past? Like, he knows exactly what I meant. You know what I meant, but I described it as scroll up in the past.
You click on the video for YouTube and you click into the past.
Exploded.
The glue exploded?
Well, I got more glue out than I cared to. This is like not fun to put together. I really dislike this. I was having a lot of fun with phases.
You did them too quickly.
I did. I really did. I thought that I could stretch that out for 2 hours. I stretched it out for 20 minutes. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best. But on the bright side, we'll have a Rocket Truck Squid Boogie after this, maybe. What? You're painting an AdMech? You're not even playing AdMech on.
This is a brand new AdMech character.
What is this thing?
This is the Skitarii Marshall.
He's like got a skeleton head. What's that about?
That's just how he rocks.
That's just.
He was very inspired by the Deathcore Creek.
Oh. The ponies? We have a lot of those ponies. Why doesn't John play with those ponies?
Because they require an entire detachment to get. And John was obsessed with Manticores for a while.
John did have an obsession with Manticores. Is that over?
I think so. He was trying to justify it, and I pushed back, and he was like, yeah. No, he was telling me how they're so good into AdMech, and then I was like, well, cool. +1 to saving throws cover. Not so great now.
Wait, they have +1 saving throws and cover? I've never heard of them.
What?
They have +1 to saves and cover?
AdMech.
Yeah. They're so dumb.
Ignore AP 1 and 2.
And this is why we're playing Imperial Fist, because we're going to ignore cover, and then we're going to blow them all up.
You should put fists on the table. I know you like your bolters.
I do like my bolters. I think bolters are like the most underrated weapon in the game. Not like regular bolters, like all the variations to bolters. Regular bolters actually suck.
Bolt weapons.
Bolt weapons. Did the math on the Avara, and it can't play its points over 3 shoot phases unless the targets are something like Incubi. The Avara sucks. I played against one of them,
Terrible.
and it literally did nothing, and I just killed it. Like, there wasn't that many drones because drones are overpriced, and that means that the Avara drones are not overpriced. Drones, what am I saying?
They're overpriced.
Drones are perfectly fine. They shouldn't be like, let's take 40 drones to make the Riptide unkill. That's not a good thing for the game. 17. Where's 17 Seeks? See, I had the Eagle Eyes earlier when I was when I sniped that Abaddon Black, but I think I used all of my superpowers.
It's a once per game type of thing.
There it is. There it is. Don't speak so soon. I just found it. I could go for some tacos, you know? Mark called me earlier and he invited me to Mexican food. I knew he was going to do that. Once I missed the call and then I returned it and then we played phone tag a couple times. But I knew while we were playing phone tag, like I know he's going to be inviting me to El Jalisco. It's like Mark's favorite Mexican place. And like, that's sure enough, it was that. And now he's got me in the mood for tacos. How do these things happen? Oh, I clipped out the wrong piece. I clipped out 16.
He got it though.
Whatever. We'll need 17 eventually. We'll need 16 eventually.
Nick's gonna lose the piece. Where's 17 going?
At least I'm not clipping everything out like I used to. You remember those days?
I remember those days.
Yeah.
It's magical.
You can't do that anymore. These new kits just won't allow it. I don't like that. Are Heavy Intercessors worth it? See, do you think Heavy Intercessors are worth it?
No, I don't.
I don't actually hate them. I played against them. I think they're not great in the Land of Dark Eldar and AdMech, which is unfortunately where we're at. But if you actually do value durability, which, again, you shouldn't today, but if you do, they're actually really tough for what they are, especially with like an Apothecary floating around.
Because the effort it takes to kill them are like the same effort it takes to kill plasma suckers. And the reward for killing a heavy intercessor is so much worse than the reward for killing a plasma scepter. So the heavy intercessor doesn't get shot. And then you just have an objective. And that's pretty good. They also, like, their shooting doesn't suck. So shooting is actually quite annoying.
It just feels like you'd rather upgrade to a Dreadnought.
Yeah. I mean, that would be better for, like, pretty much a similar price point. But it's less cool. Nobody runs heavy intercessors. This is a challenging build. It's actually not, but it's got a lot of doohickeys.
Nick loves his doohickeys.
I hate doohickeys. Like, oh, this is just a saw on the bottom here.
Why wouldn't a saw?
It's right by the wheel. You're gonna saw your own wheel. Works are so dumb.
Nicholas, where'd that normal oil go? There it is.
1 and 10.
Look at all the orc riders you're gonna have to add on there.
No, so I'm gonna use the patented army painter technique. Spray paint dip done, because like almost our entire arc army is already built like that, so why not continue? And that means we're just gonna prime the arcs green. Spray paint dip done.
You're supposed to be Dragon off Nightshade over here. Where did that go? Let me grab Dragon off. Actually, let me grab my glaze paint.
The glaze paints. He's gonna grab the glaze paints.
Gilliam and Blue.
Gilliam and glue.
Blue.
Gilliam and glue. They should call that Gilliam and glue. It's like Gorilla Glue, 40K. I should be the marketer for Games Workshop. Look what I've just come up with. The billions. Billions with a T.
Alright, here we go. No oil.
No.
The magic.
Oh, so they put the same thing on both sides. Interesting. Very interesting. 10. Where's 10? There's 10. Yeah, honestly, I think if I didn't try to build this with directions, I would have failed horribly. This has got a lot of doohickeys. Oh, wow. This is horrible. This is terrible. This is like a weapon that grinds up squigs and throws them at you. This is squig abuse. I don't want to play with these. Oh no.
Or squigs.
They're shoving. Look at this squig. He's like getting flattened and compressed into a gun. This is horrible. I don't like this.
You're the one playing these on stream.
I'm gonna start a revolution. This is squig violence. I'm not here for this. Squigs are people too. Look, if it's Grotz, I can get behind it. You know, that's.
But you are a Grot.
The culture.
You wouldn't let your
I'm not a Grot.
You are a Grot.
I am not a Grot. I am the war boss.
You're Makari.
I am the war boss. I'm basically Mr. Gaz himself. Is Nick excited for the Gretchen Revolution? Yes! Yes! I'm gonna lead it as Makari. Obviously. I'm gonna lead this Gretchen Revolution. Yellow Spatial Successors? Oh, Wolfguard and 4 Dreads. I'm with you. I think Spatial Successors, Dreadnoughts, and Wolfguard, that's a real army. It's got problems because Marines just have problems these days. No, nothing's foolproof in today's day and age, but it is a real army. I think that's super good. Go crazy getting 6 Dreadnoughts in there. Go crazy. Crazy that thing, dude. Is there any way to hear you guys' competitive opinion on the new Sisters rules? Haven't caught up on podcasts yet. Well, Michael, we're actually trying to save that all for the War Room, and we're going to teach a Sisters clinic, and that Jack Hartz is going to play Sisters tomorrow versus Mr. Siegs and his brand new Admech as our coaching match. So that'll be really good. We're also going to have new Sisters reviews on the Down Under podcast coming up soon. So stay tight, and you will get the answer to your questions answered. Unfortunately, I haven't actually read the new Sisters rules, so I cannot be much up to you.
Squiggle launchers are too grimdark for me. I just like they're like animals. They're pretty cute. I like animals. Big fan of animals. So do you like animals?
Love animals.
She loves animals.
About this manipulus.
Do you like manipuluses?
I do. I think they're
Don't you think that's a little bit manipulative?
the manipuli. Okay, the plural of manipulus.
The manipulation, the multiplication.
I mean, look at this guy. He's telling you to shh.
That's I don't know his name, but I call him the fat man. He makes your range bigger or you move faster. That's still true.
Nope. He makes your guns extra long range and extra AP.
So no more move.
No more move.
Just better gun.
Better gun.
Better gun. Man buffs guns. Sounds like Admac.
Atari Marshall.
Wait, is Fat Man the manipulus?
That's the manipulus.
Okay.
That's the Marshall.
Fat Man is the manipulus. I've learned a lot today, actually. Extra AP and extra range. How much extra range? 6 inches?
6 inches.
That's pretty much the same. Instead of moving and
But it's
shooting.
not a 6 inch. It's not an aura of plus 6 inch range.
What do you mean it's not?
You pick a unit in your command phase.
And then what?
It gets extra 6 inch range and extra AP on its gun
Oh, that's it.
on the galvanic rifle. Yeah. Well, that makes them pretty serious when you add the strat in. It turns their weapons from heavy to rapid fire, so having extra range is a big deal.
No kidding. Look at this.
What a ridiculous weapon. I need a little bit of gold now for the Marshall.
Oh, Siegs is wandering. Are emulators overpriced? How much are emulators these days? I don't know what they do anymore. How do you feel about the Tyranid guns that shoot rippers in? There's Tyranid guns that shoot rippers, Siegs? Do you know about this? I don't think that's as bad. I don't look to rippers as pets. I think rippers are like little swarmy creatures. Like, I don't care about swarmy creatures. I'm not just like a pacifist over here. I'm just saying though that like squig violence, the squigs are not. It's like if you're slaughtering fruit hounds. Like, this is just mean. This is really just mean. There's no reason to be doing that.
You wouldn't slaughter crude hounds?
No, I would.
Crude hound lives matter.
Fruit hounds are pets. They're to be petted. They're to be fed. If they're attacking you, I get it. Self-defense, fine. Crude hounds are a war beast, but they are also pets. Loyal to their masters. The Tau are jerks. What do you gotta say about that, Siegs?
Look how cool this Marshall is.
Look how cool the Marshal is in a whispered, muffled tone.
Look at this guy. Reroll ones to wound. What Admec really, really wanted. They got it.
Everybody has reroll ones to wound. It's not even special anymore. Lieutenants used to be like a unique Marine thing. Now it's just like, hey, we have an HQ. Don't know what buff to give them? Reroll ones to hit on one of them, reroll ones to win on the other one. Let's give this to every army, not Necrons. They have to be different. Look at this stupid thing that sucks.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went. I think that's verbatim how it went.
Sisters, Admec, Space Marines. Is it if you have the Imperium in your keywords, you just reroll ones to hit and reroll ones to win for showing up?
Yep.
Cool. Glad we got on the same page about that. Seems real balanced. Nice fun. A lot of diversity in the game. Real creativity flexing with the rules writing. The Immolator Flamer is strength 6, but heavy, so no more advance and shoot. Ooh, that's not the biggest of deals. Its 12-inch range isn't bad, but it's a bummer. Would like to be advancing shooting. It's probably overpriced though. It's 130 or 55. That's overpriced.
Yeah, no core.
Yeah, you wouldn't pay for that.
I don't know. Vehicles have not had the best of times. Unless they got core and minus damage, which the Space Marine Dreadnoughts got.
Raiders aren't like that. Raiders are cheap.
Raiders are just severely undercosted. But they got that.
Not anymore. Now they're like
Now
what
they're
they
just
should be.
undercosted.
Not where they should be.
They're still better than every transport in the game.
Every transport name sucks. That's not their fault.
With them going up to 95, they're 5 points more expensive than devilfish.
Not their fault.
Look at
No
the
one
Marshall.
cares about the Marshall.
He's got a servo skull. Come on, look at that.
All right, so the new guy I can recognize because he's new. I haven't seen him before. He rerolls ones. What else does he
To
do?
wound.
To wound. Does he? What else?
Makes a Pixis Guitar unit. It doesn't take the depreciation of the Doctrines.
He makes what?
Makes it so a unit, a Scutari unit, doesn't take the depreciation of the Doctrine.
I don't know what that means. I'm just gonna assume that's fine. I didn't know doctrines appreciate now. I didn't know I had doctrines. 40K has changed so much in 2 weeks. I haven't even missed it. I've been here for all of it, and I haven't been able to keep up. What's going on? Look at this. We're getting places with this squig buggy. Rocket. You realize that squigs are attack dogs and food at the same time, so you can't be the ammo too. They shouldn't be food or ammo. They should just be the attack dogs. Food in a pinch, I suppose. War times are difficult, but they should not be the ammo. That's what you have grots for, or actual ammo. Or except no shortage of DACA guns. Should Tau be nerfed after going 5-1? Honestly, I think Tau should just always be nerfed. They should live in a constant state of oppression, much like the one they put me in. So, yeah.
Nick lives in the Tau hole. He's deep down in the
I'm
Tau
not
hole.
deep nowhere. Tau don't control me, you control. You're the master of your own destiny, not the Tau fish people.
No one has lost more important games than Nick to Tau.
He's definitely true. That's indisputable.
It's okay, Nick. The Tau still love you.
I
mean, you're a great foil for the Tau.
Great form.
You really help their narrative.
Wonderful. Remember when I was a Tau player?
Competitive player switched to Iron Hand, still loses to Tau.
I hate Tau. I hate Tau so much. They are the bane of.
All right,
You want to have a seat?
no, I'll be good right here. I've been sitting a lot, so I'm okay with standing. Flights for the legs. All right, how's this thing coming?
So what I don't understand is the wheels, they're gonna go here, right?
Yeah.
And there's a saw right here. So the saw is dangerously close to your wheel, and that feels like really poor design. It's also
You gotta live on the
dangerously
edge.
close to your fuel tank, which is right here. Definitely just the worst place to put a saw.
Why do you think they have better explosions? I explode more.
I don't know. I don't think that's the goal.
Live on the edge here, Nick. Live life a little. Have to add some danger to your life.
I see. I haven't embraced the orc ways yet. It's been a while.
Danger. Ooh. So what's going on over here?
Well, I've recently found out that the rocket truck squig. Oh, God.
Oh, that glue. Oh boy.
The rocket
Oh,
truck
no.
squig buggy.
Nick recently found out how glue works.
It hurls. Well, this is really crappy glue, so it's challenging. The rocket truck squig buggy hurls squigs into it, fires them into a compressor, grinds them up, and blasts them at the enemy.
Yep.
I don't like that. I think that's very bad. Squig lives matter.
It's orcs. It's just how they work. Do what they want. Yeah, stop them.
No, this. We need to talk to PR about this. This is one of the, what is it? The animal people. They need to get on this.
Well, if they had to say anything, we have to get rid of pelts. And I don't want to get rid of pelts. I'm a chaos player. I like pelts. And a wolf player.
You
Yeah.
played both pages.
Yeah, I've played those wolves. Actually, all my stuff is Sons of Horse. So
That's true. That's
I
true.
gotta finish up getting the rest of the armor painted up.
They're
I'm
green.
so excited. They are green. They are no sheet green.
Mark, there's a question earlier. How do you feel about warp time?
Honestly, guys, yes, it sucks.
It's okay.
There's a lot of builds, but to be honest, it's a long time coming. It's just, why do it now when that was one of the things that we were strong on? But the FAQ honestly helped us a lot of places too. So,
I love the optimism.
yep, new secondaries, a lot easier, and then draw pods, Dreadclaws, boys, Dreadclaws. Someone else is here, Joshua.
Mr. Frost,
Oh, Frosty.
my Chronos are here. Screw this squig buggy. Let's build some Chronos.
They're building.
Well, let's put the Chronos on the bases. This is so exciting.
Tagging out now.
How's it going,
Bye,
Chris?
Mark.
Good one. I'm gonna still leave it. I'm not bye.
Well, bye.
I'm still here for comedic relief. That's why we keep
How do
it
you-
around, right?
Me building is comedic relief on its own.
Hopefully, it will turn out better for the Plagueburst Crawler.
I don't know about comedic relief.
This is
a
actually much
travesty.
easier to build than the Plagueburst Crawler.
Yeah, it's a lot more like put this piece here there and it
Yeah,
looks fine.
there's no ambiguity to it. The piece only goes where the holes are.
Yep. Don't get things perfectly lined up.
Alright, let's.
Chris, you come on over here. I'm gonna get up.
No, you're
And you
good.
can show off the Chronos.
Ooh, Siegs, did you get some old metal granites?
Those are from Nick.
Chronos, look at these, painted by Frosty Forge in like record time for ACO. They got airbrush purple, they got blue stuffs. This is good. They're gonna look glorious on these bases.
So we don't lose those.
Look at that! And now, oh, they got a Spirit Vortex too. Oh, you got the airbrush on the Spirit Vortex. Airbrush the Spirit Vortex. Snow for my bases. Snow for the bases.
We got the PVC.
Okay, that works.
Use the Elmer's glue.
All right, we got
There's
blue
bits.
and random bits. What's the random bits?
That should be extra stuff.
The
Oh,
little racks.
excellent. Wasn't there like a whole bunch of? Oh, you glued them on. The spikes got glued on. Excellent, excellent. This is great.
Full service.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. He gave me a full service.
Alright, I'm gonna go steal models now.
He's gonna steal models.
I'm gonna join my boss.
If you can't find anything, let me know.
Okay.
All right, so hand me the paint palette over there. We're gonna get to glue and some
What?
snow on these
This
bases.
isn't a palette. This is a travesty.
This is glorious. All right, so Record Truck Big Bug, you're going back in the box. This was a fun adventure. Well, folks, I think that was fun. We got this much Rocket Truck Squid Buggy done. This is pretty cool, right? Basically, table ready.
Look at these Chronos.
I'm really happy. Like this. How does these things happen to me? I don't know. I don't know.
Got your snow.
No.
Nixon
Snow
accidentally
coming.
dropped way too much glue on there. That's what I'm looking forward to.
No. So you paint the glue on with the crappy brush. Hand me,
Yeah.
hand me one of the crappy brushes.
The one that's
No,
yours.
not that. This is a good brush.
Not that.
There's some crappy brushes. So,
All of them are crappy brushes.
where did it go? I was using one earlier.
This one.
No, not that one. There's like a really, really bad brush.
Any of these? These are horrible.
Those could work.
This is terrible.
That's the one!
To be clear, it's all of the brushes that Nick has used. They're all dry brushes.
No, no one takes care of the brushes.
This is what my
besides
brush
me.
looks like. This is what
Siegs doesn't keep
this
his.
is what Nick brush looks like. Nick brush. My brush.
These brushes are so old. That's not a fair comparison.
Don't know about that.
They're at least a year old.
This is a year old. We got this is from the original Army Painter set that we got.
Good for you. You're good at keeping brushes
Yeah.
from breaking.
Took good care of them.
So I don't know how I'm gonna do this.
I'm already nervous. There's gonna be snow everywhere.
No, it's not a winter wonderland.
I'm gonna pick up the Chronos and put it over here so you don't get snow all over it.
This is gonna be a lot. I
We
suppose.
should close this one so that don't want to use that one. Look at this. Do you want me to get you a little cup that you can pour the glue into?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Because I don't think you should stick it down there.
I agree. So we're just sprinkling some snow on the glue. I don't know if this is the right technique. I don't really know how to do this, but it can't be rocket science, right? It just can't be. So Siegs with glue. Ooh, that's a lot of glue. Okay, okay. This is why we use the cup. All right. And
That's why he doesn't pour it directly onto the paint.
then
Let me get my crisis suits out of here because I'm getting nervous.
water. This is full of water. This is full of water. Great. How am I soloing the paint stream all of a sudden? What's going on? We should really have Siegs working in chat now, because I'm just neglecting you. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll get Siegs to switch with me. Siegs, switch with me.
I'm moving my town stuff over, and then I'll switch.
Okay, Siegs moving house stuff then. Then you'll get to talk to Siegs while I bask in the glue. This is really hard, I must say. Like, I thought this would be the easy part. This is quite challenging. It's not that it's a hard job. It's that I'm trying very hard not to make a mess. I'm really, really
Nick,
bad at that.
Nick is somebody who can just make a mess effortlessly. So to put effort into not making a mess, I mean that takes a lot of focus. and
I
dedication.
honestly, like, I'm pretty. Let's switch chairs. You go over there. I need. Let's see. I've already made
Let's
such.
talk about AdMech. Let's get some AdMech questions.
No one cares about AdMech.
Everybody cares about the AdMech because we're seeing them tomorrow against the new sisters.
See, just stop lying to yourself. It'll be a lot easier. I'm looking out for you. You're my robot friend.
Where did you leave off here?
I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for you, but I really got distracted once the Dark Eldar showed up. See, this is what happens. I get distracted so easily. This is why I'd be good at 3 games of 40k at once.
Given Morven gives reroll all hits, wounds is half damage, and 4-up against mortals. Is Zarek still fair at 450? I think Silent King is overpriced, just like the Catan are. I think they should come down.
The Catan are way more overpriced than Silent King is. I think the Silent King is just like showing his age. It's not.
Yeah, but he's showing his age. He needs to come down to be more relative to the game.
The Zatan's just started overpriced, I think.
Yeah, I think they were very nervous about. Now that's ability that could be ridiculously powerful. You only take 3 wounds per phase, but there's so much damage in every different phase,
Yeah.
especially from the top armies, that it's actually not quite as strong in practice.
Yeah.
So, I think they need to come down at least like 80 points, the Catan, and then I drop the Silent King 50, and then start from there. Still, 400 points is a lot for one model. This is especially true as they've increased the damage of the game. Just flat 3 plus D3 all over the place. That's
Yeah.
not what the Silent King wants to see.
No.
How will you get around the problems for units in transport/reserve that many buffs are applied in the command phase now instead of being auras in the New Sisters Codex? I think part of that comes down to the units that you really want. Since indirect fire really isn't that prevalent in the game right now, you can just put them behind the Rhino and use the Rhinos more for getting your OBSEC up the board, and then your damage dealers that need the specific buffs, those ones are going to start behind the Rhinos at a line of sight.
I don't know. I that works when there is no indirect fire and there's good terrain. I don't like that as the strategy when you're list writing.
I mean, that's just if you're using a strategy that old style wanted transports.
Right.
Like you could be running 20 sister bricks, stuff like that, which doesn't need it, obviously.
Is that a thing now?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a thing that you could do before.
You could be using Seraphim and Zephyrim, which are still very strong.
You think 20 Sisters bricks are like good now?
They can be relatively defensive because you can put Transhuman on them and make them double the number of shots at half range.
That's not bad.
And then they can get full hits and wounds from Morven, from the Supreme Commander. So like they can actually be pretty powerful. I don't think they don't get as many buffs as the Skitarii get.
Because AdMech are broken.
AdMech are different.
They are different in that they are broken. Not everybody can do that.
Nick's played Broken Jakari for so long. Still hasn't gotten that win, so we got to feel for him.
I won the Stream House RDT. You have a TR? No, you don't.
We don't do it right now, I would. Nick's going to be so sad when Tower the best codex in 9th edition, and he won't be able to switch over.
Tau would never
That's
be
what's
a
gonna
good
happen.
codex. What do you mean I won't be able to
Not
switch
the
over?
good codex, the best one.
You don't think I could play Tau?
Nope.
I've
I
done
don't
it.
think you could.
I've done it.
Neither you or Jack took any of my advice. And then
I took all of your advice. Take Jerome's thick rip
I
Tau.
told you the cyclic ion commanders, and you didn't listen to me.
And if I did, I would have lost harder.
You would have won harder.
No, I would have not even had range to kill Ganyos Caladiuses, let alone whatever.
You stood wide out in the open.
Oh.
That was such an easy win.
This is the army that tabled you, wasn't it?
No, I never had him. When did I get tabled?
Didn't you get tabled by the same list as the one that beat me, basically?
No.
You sure?
No.
John,
It wasn't.
John has told me the story, and John's got elephant memory.
No, he he killed a Riptide at the end, but I was tabling him. He also did have Iron
always
Strike.
changes.
I mean, I'm sure he will tell you. But is Nick actually an orc spirit in a human body?
I could see it. Do you think so, Seeks, or no?
Nick can be all over the place. He could be erratic, right?
I don't know about erratic. That's
Erratic.
a harsh term.
Erratic.
It's like I don't think I'm erratic.
Nick does believe in the power of colors, though.
I believe in the power of stuff. Stuff, colors, just random happenstance, absolutely.
Nick likes D6 shot weapons.
I don't love them.
Nick loves the shock attack. What was the thing? The bubble chukka?
The bubble chukka.
We have to roll for every stat.
Every stat.
Strain 2. It was like 6 shots. Strain 2. All right.
We rolled it out. They like consistently couldn't kill an intercessor.
It was bad.
This is great. Frosty to the rescue over here, I must say.
Tips for Grey Knight secondaries. When I'm playing Grey Knights, I almost always go for engage while we stand, and then scramblers.
Can you put that on there?
That's kind of my tried and true for Grey Knights. If your opponent gives up an easy kill secondary, I'd go for that. But I pretty much stick with the board control and just keeping my while we stands alive. The glue that Nick is using was Elmer's glue, but we have the scenic glue as well that he could have used. Everything kills better now. Necron durability basically feels non-existent. Well, the durability of the game has also gone up. There's -1 damage all over the place, ignore AP 1 and 2, both in shooting and combat, +1 saves against damage 1. That's transhuman all over the place. Necrons only got access to the quantum shielding, basically. All the other defensive buffs skip them. They get to, in a command phase, give a 5 up invul now, which is hardly anything to write home about now. 20 Sisters versus 20 Rangers. You might see it on Tuesday. Jack was skeptical of the 20 Sister bricks, but you're definitely going to be seeing the 20 Rangers.
Look at these Chrono Seeks. I think they're shorter than 4 inches tall. I do. I really do. That's important.
Next game, the next tournament I'm going to is ACO this weekend, and then it's been a while since I played outside the stream house. What are your thoughts on the new Sisters? New Sisters, I think is very powerful. I think very much like Admech, a lot of their aura abilities, which Sisters would have multiple powerful overlapping auras, those went away and became something new. And the new things I think are just as powerful in different ways. So I think Sisters got the data sheets are just better in a lot of cases. Some of them got changed, but access to the Supreme Commander is amazing. The Miracle Dice are still very powerful. They have very, very good strats, as usual. And the prayers, the chance that they got access to, and some of their warlord traits and relics that especially buff melee characters are still amazing. So I think it comes down to is how people are going to put everything into the list. I think a lot of people are doing Argent Shroud shooting plus Bloody Rose combat. That's probably going to be standard, but I'm sure there's some other combos in there that are going to be very good.
And just like that, 6 Chronos appeared at ATC and brought down the whole tournament.
Remember at the beginning of 9th, it was MSU for life? Yeah, it's not anymore. Games Workshop seems to be explicitly putting a lot of buffs out, so that 20 bodies of OBSEC, not only durable, but can actually do a lot of damage as well. So, but it's good that they're putting troops in a nice spot, because most armies, when you look at the 40k, like fluff images and stuff, there's a significant amount of troops floating around the board.
Look at these Chrono Seeks. These are going to win ACO right here.
Sure.
Yeah.
They could.
They're going to.
Nick just has to remember to have a screen for 9 games. Just 9 games.
I have to read my strats again.
Skitari don't get full rerolls. They don't get full rerolls. They get many other buffs, but getting access to that Supreme Commander rerolls is awesome.
Supreme Commander. That's your nickname.
Outside of the Morven, what do you think is the new hotness for Sisters overall? I still think Retributors and Repentia are awesome. The Repentia Mistress got much better, so you'll probably actually start seeing her. I think the Dogmata and the Chance, very good as well.
The Dogmata.
The Dogmata, she's basically their equivalent of a chaplain. I think you're going to see a lot of her.
What is this?
Especially since the 1 CP just get to do a chant. Nick, did Richard tell you that I wanted you to play Tau vs. Orcs as my request game? With you playing both sides and running the camera by yourself, and you have to have different voices for each role.
I would destroy that. I would be the champion. Constantly on the landscape shots, you have no idea what's going on the table, but you're looking at me. And then I would when I was talking as the orc player, I'd talk in the orc voice and just roll dice like this. And then like as a Tau player, I would talk like this because Tau are just little dweebs, and it would be wonderful. And I'd stand on the one side for the Tau and the other side for the orcs, and it'd be good stuffs.
See, that's a taste right there.
That's what you get.
Dominions are also very good. Dominions are great.
I don't even think about updating that scoreboard. That would never happen.
No, that would.
So whatever it started is what it started.
Nick will give you a running tally at the end of each game.
Yeah.
Just mental math.
So I'm pretty sure I scored a 15 last time.
Math out real quick. I heard you can mix PVA and Snowflock into a thick paste, and then use Valhalla and Blizzard, but I recommend you add a little bit of water, mix it in, or else it'll look a bit dirty.
I like adding a little bit of water to the snow. I think that's important.
Yeah, it's coming out good. Nick is getting his army ready for ACO.
It's because I'm a hobbyist, Mr. C. Could a hobbyist have not produced this? Hobbyist produced this.
Is that still not gluing in there?
No, this is screwed. This is one towels might not just
You might not make it.
not make it. Playing 5 Chronos and a broken one.
The broken one you can just always see.
He's always
He's an aircraft.
first to die. This is infuriating.
I think you have to pull that off.
You think so?
Yeah, that's not going to glue on there properly.
Where's the scrapey thing?
It's in here. There you go. Be careful.
When's
Careful, Nick.
I don't damage myself.
He has all the time.
It's been a long time since I cut myself with scissors.
With scissors. To clarify. There was a time when scissors were one of the most dangerous objects in the house for Nick.
Okay, we're gonna leave that there for like 2 days. Yeah, that'll be that. All right.
Are you all coming up tomorrow or Wednesday? Nick is flying up on Tuesday. I am flying up on Thursday. And I believe Jack is Thursday as well.
Yes, yes.
John is flying in on Thursday, I think, from North Carolina.
John's doing John stuff.
So we're all coming up at different times, but we will be there Friday morning. Start throwing down dice, ACO. Anyone who calls himself a hobbyist has to be able to build more than 1 attack bike per hour.
That's not in the rules. Show me where it says
It's in the
that.
fine print. It's in the instructions. Is that the one you're trying? Do you
No,
just
no,
glue?
no, no. That's the other one.
Which
Otherwise
one
I
did you
wouldn't.
just glue?
This one.
Why'd you put it on there?
Because it wanted to see if it would fit. And now we have all 6 Chronos on their bases. And that's it. That's the paint stream, ladies and gentlemen. We got 6 Chronos, built, painted, finished base, ready to roll, ready to beat ACO, and we built half of a Rocket Truck Squid Buggy.
You gotta finish that up.
We're not, that's not.
When are we getting Bellicor rules?
I don't know.
Who knows?
That's a great question. Wish I had an answer.
I think they said he was coming in a campaign book with his like cult, so maybe we'll see that. But they have not said anything else since that preview week.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully soon, because he's had a model for a while now. All right. Just leave that off.
It's magnetized.
Okay.
Oh wow, he's got a hole in his arm here.
Oh, he's bleeding.
Is that supposed to be there, or did John just drill too far? And then Chris painted it like blood.
He probably drilled too far.
Amazing.
He's taking a bullet wound to the heart. When are you guys going to announce the AOW meet and greet for LVO? I need a War Room meetup.
Oh, hopefully we can actually get that going. I would
Yeah.
love to, yeah.
We've got Brad Chester on that, honestly. Brad Chester's going to be doing a lot of public relations stuff coming up. All right, you all good, Nick? 'Cause I am good.
I'm great.
I got everything ready. So, this week, because it's a shortened week, since all of us are heading to ACO, we are doing the stream games a little bit different this week. Monday afternoon, which is this afternoon at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, we are doing our YouTube stream game for this week. That is going to be me playing my ACO Tau list against Mark Perry playing a Craft Worlds list. He's running that older Azurman Dire Avenger Shining Spear style with the Wraithseers. But honestly, it's a tricky list. It's got a lot of mobility, plays the mission pretty well with those Dire Avenger bricks, so we'll see how that ends up doing into the Tau. And then tomorrow, we have Mr. Jack Harpster playing the brand new Sisters in the War Room against my AdMech, my Mars Lucius list. So that's going to be a battle of the two latest books, and I'm pretty excited to see how that goes. Jack is going to be explaining his list and all the different things he thinks about Sisters, so if you're in the War Room, feel free to ask a ton of questions during that game. Otherwise, thank you everybody for hanging out with us. This will be the only Hangout hobby for this week, since we are going to be traveling. So hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next time. Please do follow us at ACO. All right.
Bye.
Bye. We're going to send you up with a promo for the War Room. So long.
Dive even deeper into competitive 40K and become a member of the world's most knowledgeable and positive community.
The War Room is an exclusive group that brings together the world's best 40K players as coaches to help anyone from a newer player to an experienced tournament veteran learn, grow, and reach their goals within our shared hobby.
Each week we offer a variety of live stream coaching matches centered around illuminating the thought process and in-game decision making of top players. We explain everything we're doing and why.
You'll learn about the ever-evolving meta, match play mission theory, list making, and discussion of every faction in the game, and have access to analysis of all the latest rules. Our team of highly experienced coaches teach weekly clinics on each individual faction, strategy sessions on deployment and cool tricks, and meta-analyses each week during Meta Monday.
We are committed to not only providing the best knowledge for players available, but also building a one-of-a-kind community.
Come be a part of the War Room.